So boys and girls, welcome to Medical Monday, you guys. I know you're just coming back from lunch, but boy, do we have a special treat for you. We have some students from the University of South Florida that are going to teach you today for a Medical Monday lesson. And in just a little bit, you're going to get a chance to play with some materials. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And this is Miss Kent. I'm sure you remember her. Can you guys say hello?
Hi, everyone. Today we have with us some students. Mia, is it Mia? Is that correct? What is your last name, Mia?
My last name is Romero.
Great. And Mia and Piper, and they're going to be teaching you about how you can control bleeding. And they're also going to be telling you about their organization, the University Emergency Medical Student Association. I hope I got that right.
Yes.
I'll hand it over to them.
Perfect. All right. So can you guys hear us okay? Yes, good. Okay. So I'm Piper. I'm a current junior at the University of South Florida. I've been a part of UMSA, just like Miss Kent was talking about, for 3 years now. And I am now a nursing student at USF. So it has definitely helped me a lot over the past 3 years to get to where I am today. And even just simple things like learning how to control your bleeding. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Let's try just a little bit. Hi, my name is Mia. I am a senior at the University of South Florida. I currently have been volunteering with UMSA for about a year and a half or so. I'm an EMT. I currently work for the USF Health. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're super excited to teach you guys today. So hemorrhage control. So hemorrhage is a big word for bleeding. So when you get a little boo-boo, I know I have one on my hand right now from I fell off my skateboard. That when you have a little boo-boo, it begins to get all red and start to bleed. And that's when you get that nice little Band-Aid and put it on so it stops. So we're going to kind of go over that just in a little bit today. Oh no. There we go. Okay, so how does blood travel in the body? So there's little tubes in your body. Everybody knows what a tube is. That goes through your heart. That's right in the middle of your chest, right here. And it flows to and from the heart. So there's big words called veins and arteries. But just know that these little tubes hold all the blood in your body to go back and forth. And that's all over your body.
So there are several different types of bleed. So you have a capillary bleed, which is slow and it clots almost immediately, which means that clotting just stops the blood. That's your body kind of healing itself. And then the venous is steady flow. So it's the darker blood that you see if you accidentally have like a boo-boo or something. There's two different types of blood that you might see. There's the darker blood and then the lighter blood. The darker is from a vein and the lighter is from an artery, and that might be going a little bit faster.
Yes. And then pulses, we're just going to go over that super quick. So if everybody wants to look at their thumb. Yes. And then Mia's going to check my pulse. She's going to find my pulse, and it's that little heartbeat, that da-dum, 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 da-dum. And you guys can check that out when we finish up our PowerPoint, but it's right by your thumb, okay? Right here. And then steps to stop the bleeding.
Okay, so the first step is you're gonna put on gloves. Does everybody have their materials with them, their gloves?
If not, we can just show it first and then go ahead.
That's okay. So we're just gonna put our gloves on. This is to protect yourself.
It's always fun putting on gloves. So once we have our precautionary measures, so this keeps us safe and it keeps other people safe when we're putting Band-Aids on, even touching another person, this helps a lot. And so Mia's gonna grab some gauze. So what happens when you have a boo-boo and it starts to bleed, and then your parents are running over, oh my gosh, we need to get you a Band-Aid. So the first step you need to do is apply direct pressure. So let's say I have a little wound or a little bit of a bleed on my arm right here. So Mia's gonna apply direct pressure. She's gonna hold down. And then she's gonna elevate my arm. And then she's gonna find what's called a pressure point. So it's gonna be usually right above where you have a little bit of a bleed. So she's gonna hold with 2 arms right here. Stop the bleeding. And then you're gonna apply with gauze. And then that's where your mom or
Ladies,
They
I'm
will-
sorry. We do not see your demonstration. We
oh,
don't-
right here.
I'm gonna bend it down just a
Yes.
little bit.
How's that?
No, we just see black still.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
his-
sharing.
That is a-okay. We'll do it
We'll do it
after
again.
too. All right, so just applying direct pressure with gauze, elevating, and with the pressure
So
point.
you want to stop the PowerPoint?
Yes. And then we'll go over tourniquet in our demonstration, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing and we're gonna give our presentation. Okay, can you
Sorry
guys,
about
can you
that.
see us now? Hopefully, yes.
No. Oh, you can see them? I can't see them. In the one class we can, in the other class we can't. But, okay, now I do.
Now, okay, perfect. Okay, so we were just going over the importance of gloves. So if everybody has their materials, we can start, but we put our
Yeah.
gloves on. Awesome. Okay, so I was just saying, so let's say like I have a little bruise here, but if it was bleeding, so what we would do is we're gonna apply direct pressure to where it's at.
So here.
And we're gonna hold and then elevate. So what that does is it stops that flow out through that wound or where the little boo-boo is. And then we're gonna find the pressure point, which is usually right above where you can see where the artery is. And then it's going to allow for the bleeding to hopefully subside some, especially with like little boo-boos that we have now. I know you can see one that I have right here. I fell off my skateboard. And then once we do that, we're gonna apply direct pressure with some gauze that everyone should have. And then what this does is it allows like not blood to get on anybody else, not even on you. And then we're gonna tape it up. There's some tape right there too. And sometimes with me, I always carry in my med kit little princess band-aids or little superhero band-aids. They're super fun and they look really cool too. All right. Can you guys still see okay? So
Yeah,
what she's doing is she's gonna go ahead and cover where my little boo-boo is. So that way I'm not hurting, I'm not bleeding all over the place. And there we go. So, and then especially when you're bleeding just a little bit, that's when we go ahead and we put a Band-Aid on. If it's a lot, like when you fall off your bike and you scrape your knee or your elbow, then we'll put a little bit more gauze and tape it up or add a few more Band-Aids, like bigger ones. That's where we have the roller gauze that comes in. And so what you can do is, let's say Mia has a nice little scrape on her elbow over here. So what I'm gonna do is gonna apply some gauze and then I'm gonna roll it. You're fine, you can see, there you go. And so that way it keeps her from getting blood all over the place and all over me too. And then it also gives her some movement. So that way when we need to take it off, it will be all good if you want to put that. Okay. All right. So now that we have all of our boo-boos covered right now, so how do we know how to stop the bleed? So we have this nice little glove here, okay? So if you guys think of a balloon and you go to pop a balloon, it bursts, right? So when it's filled with water and we put a nice tiny little prick in it, so I don't know if you have a pen or anything, but so let's say I'm gonna poke my little balloon. Yeah.
I can take my glove off to do that too.
Oh, there we go. We're getting a little bit. So there's a little bit of water coming out of here. So imagine that's blood. Okay. So blood, the little red stuff that's coming out of your arm when you fall, scrape, anything like that, we want to stop that. So when you put your finger over it, that stops it. You don't see it anymore, do you? There's no more water coming out of this glove, balloon, anything like that. So once we take that pressure off, it starts to come back, right? We don't want that to come back. So we're gonna take our gauze and we're going to apply a lot of pressure to it. So that way, all of the other blood, nothing comes out of this, okay? I don't want any more fluid coming out of this balloon right now, okay? And then Mia's gonna go ahead and tape our handy dandy tape to our gauze right now. And now I can hold my balloon up and nothing's gonna come out of it. Okay, nothing's coming out of my glove. I don't notice any fluid, nothing like that, no water. So what does that mean for bleeding control? So we just stopped a whole bleed from happening right now. I put, in essence, a little bit of a Band-Aid on here. And now you don't see any more blood dripping, nothing like that. And you guys can now do that to your friends. So if you see that they have a boo-boo, you can tell your teacher, you can tell anybody, but you know how to do it as well. And you can go ahead to them and say, all right, I know how to do this. I'm going to go get a Band-Aid for you. So that way no more bleeding happens and you've already stopped it. Okay. Do you want to add anything?
No, you pretty much covered it. Does anybody have any questions?
One minute.
Oh, you're
Okay, no
fine.
problem.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
I love that they're.
Hey guys.
They had a question. Kalia. Solana, come ask your question.
What's
We're doing
up?
3. Solana, Renalise, and Julia.
Oh, I love your sweatshirt.
Huh? You forgot your question? Okay, you'll come back when you remember. What's your question?
Why is bleeding so important?
Oh, this is a good question. You
That's a
want to
good
answer?
I think you know the. Sorry.
So bleeding is so important because when it's called, so you know your skin, right? You see all your skin all over. If we do something to break that, like when we have little boo-boos like I have right here, I know that's not cute or anything, but that's okay. So when we have that, we want to make sure that we take care of it so it doesn't bring any like nasty stuff into our body. Okay. So like when you fall and you get like all kinds of dirt and stuff in that, we want to make sure we clean it up so that way your blood doesn't come all gross. How about that?
That's good. You remember now? You can go after Julia.
How did you fell off your skateboard?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you want to hear this story? I was going to class and I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at like the pretty sky outside and I hit a really big divot in the road and flew off my skateboard. So make sure if you guys are outside riding your bikes, riding your skateboards, you're always paying attention, okay?
And wearing your helmet.
And wearing your helmet. Yes.
Wearing your helmet.
Oh, wait. Wait.
And you need to, and the heart is not moving. You have to do this to make the heart go back on.
Yes. So that does really well with blood perfusion. So that way we can get the blood pumping back to the heart. That was very, very good.
And those are called compressions that
Mhm.
you were doing.
Last one.
Hello.
How did your skin become bleeding?
How does it become bleeding? You mean like,
So like when have you ever tripped, fallen, or if you were riding a bike and you fell and you have these little cuts and scrapes and little red stuff is coming out of your body, that's how you begin to bleed. You can do it even if you do like a little paper cut. So like if I miss my finger right here, then a little bit of blood might come out too. All right, do you have any more questions, guys?
That was excellent. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Give a little high five. Woo.
Yes, great. Thank you. And me and Piper stay on. I have to ask you a question too afterwards.
Yes, absolutely.
That was great. Thank you so much for having us, Miss Quintine.
Thank you.
And Miss Quintine, let's see.
Oh, because I was only one class.
Are you still there? Okay, so you have Miss Quintine. I guess she got off. Oh, no, she's still here. Miss Quintine, we come back in a half an hour at 1. Can you hear me? And Piper and Mia, that was great.
Thank you.
And were you wearing your helmet?
I was not.
Yes, it's not
I was
glamorous.
very late to class and I was
Yes.
like, oh no, I need to go. And I made it on time, but even with still falling, but it was so fun because the College of Nursing is when it gets packed and everything. And I was coming to go to class for like my later class and it gets packed. So I park all the way across by like the Morsani building. So I ride my skateboard to the building and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful outside and I'm enjoying the weather and whew.
Next time wear your helmet.
Absolutely. I will never forget now.
And Mia, what is your email so that way I can be sure to send it when I get everything done and send the final thank yous. What is your email?
My email is Mia, MIA 1010 at usf.edu.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much for having us. This is so cool. And I was like, it's very helpful because I'm usually teaching like high schoolers about bleeding and things like that. So it helps
Great.
me learn.
Well, I did want to let you know that we have opportunities for Great American Teaching to go out and teach in the schools. And that's the week of November 8th. The official day is November 18th.
Okay.
And then, but I have teaching opportunities where you could teach on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For like
So when I
elementary
send a thank you, I'll put that in the notes too.
Please do. And we will definitely let everybody know here. And Anna and Maddie say hello.
They had to work today.
Yes, they had to work. One has class and one has work.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So Mia, are you actually a student too?
Yes, I'm a senior at the University of South Florida.
Great. So what are your plans? So you're in nursing, Piper, and what are your plans for next year?
My plans, hopefully, since I graduate this semester, hopefully next year I can start applying to physician associate schools. And that's the plan. Like, that's the plan.
Great.
now, Yeah.
Well, you're certainly getting your hours in.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you both so much. And so to be honest with you, I'm behind on my thank yous because I've been so swamped, but I will get the thank you done with the pictures as soon as I possibly can.
You're so fine. Thank you so much for having us, and let us know if you ever need anything else.
Well, I think the Great American Teaching might be fun for you.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who would love to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have
Okay, great.
people who would do that.
Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You
You too.
too.
Bye-bye.